Take two. Hi, Archie. Hey,
Hi.
book eating boy.
Hi.
How are you today?
Very good.
Excellent. Jigsaw is out having recess at school. He's on the playground with his classmates. So we can see Jigsaw right here. Now I think this is Mila over here. One of these guys is Bobby Solofsky.
By Jigsaw.
You think he's this guy?
Yes.
Well, we know that he sneered, which is not a nice way of saying said. So the last thing Bobby Solofsky said was, he's making it up. Okay, well, let's just talk for a minute about who is making what up. So right here, he's talking about Jigsaw. Jigsaw is making it up. So that means saying something that's not true. He's just telling a story from his imagination that is not true. So Bobby Solofsky does not believe the story that Jigsaw is telling them. So Jigsaw is going ahead and telling them all about the walking scarecrow at the Rigby place, and Bobby does not believe it. I found it kind of interesting that morning on the way to school, on the school bus, Jigsaw told his partner Mila about it by writing it down in a secret code, right? And we looked at this secret code to find out that he was saying to her, sorry, a scarecrow came alive and chased after me. And it was such a secret, written in secret code, that she needed to crumple up the paper, put it in her mouth and swallow it. Make sure that no one else could find out their secret. But if it was such a secret, why is Jigsaw telling all of his classmates at recess on the playground? I think that's kind of interesting. But they don't all believe him anyway. Bobby Solofsky certainly does not believe him. Joey Pignatano, though, says, I believe Jigsaw, Joey Pignatano declared. Declare is a way of saying said, and it means I am making a statement. I am telling you all something important. That's declared. He, Jigsaw, wouldn't lie. So Joey knows Jigsaw, knows that Jigsaw is not a liar, and so he trusts him. When you can say, I believe Jigsaw, he's not going to lie, that shows that he trusts Jigsaw. When we talk about the word trust, we're talking about trusting another person, and it means that we believe they are telling the truth. We believe that they will do what they say or they mean what they say. And then Athena says, stuff like that totally happens all the time. Huh? Athena Lorenzo offered. Offered here is another way of saying said. And then Athena says, scarecrows can be haunted just like anything. I read about it in a book once. Now, I find this kind of funny because, all right, first of all, we see the word here can is written in italics. Okay, so let's just make sure we notice this. You can see the A here is written differently from the A here. And that's because this is in italics. That's that kind of writing you can do on the computer where you make the letters get kind of wiggly and wavy and they look like they're falling over a little bit. And one of the reasons that an author will put a word in italics is because the author wants you to say that word not necessarily louder, but maybe slower than the other words in the sentence so that it becomes kind of a big deal. Like people will notice it, including you when you're reading it. So she says scarecrows can be haunted. Okay, not scarecrows can be haunted, but scarecrows can be haunted, just like anything. And then she says, I read about it in a book once. Now, I want to talk about the word imply for a minute. You can see what I'm putting here, imply. I think we've talked about this word before. Imply is when we are saying something or giving a message without actually saying it in words. We're not saying it out of our mouth or in words on the paper, but we are giving that meaning. You can kind of tell what we're thinking. We might not use the words specifically, but you say, oh, I know what you mean, or I know what you're thinking, or I know what you're saying, even though you're not saying it. That's imply, okay? For example, in the morning, if your mom said to you, Archie, you better bring an umbrella today. Well, she's implying, can you tell what she's thinking? She's thinking, it might rain today. She's not saying, Archie, I think it's going to rain today. She's saying, Archie, I want you to bring your umbrella today. And you can say, well, what do I know about an umbrella? Oh, we use an umbrella when it rains. Oh, my mom thinks it's going to rain today. So she would be implying or giving that message. You could figure out what she's thinking, even though she's not saying it. That's imply. Well, sometimes when we put two sentences next to each other, we can see what the person is implying. We can kind of figure out what they're thinking, even though they're not saying it. So let's look at what Athena says here. These are two interesting sentences. All right, first, we're going to look at this one, number one, and then we're going to look at this one, number two. Okay, so her first sentence is, scarecrows can be haunted. Now, this word haunted will only take place in a fiction story or a fantasy story, a story that cannot really happen in real life, because haunted means like there's a ghost inside of it, making it move or making it come alive. So it's not something that's going to happen in a story that is realistic, that could really happen. It's going to be in a story that is pretend or fiction or fantasy. But she says it like it's a fact. Now, when I use that word fact, that should automatically make you think of the fact or opinion. So fact is something that should be something that fact.
Real.
Yeah, fact is something that is real. A scientist can prove it. It is always true or always false. It is something that you can prove. Everyone has to agree. An opinion is something that different people can have different ideas. Different people can have different opinions. It does not mean that one person is right and another person is wrong.
I have an example.
Okay, go ahead.
Fact is like 1 + 1 is 2. It's a fact. 1 + 1 is not 7, 4.
Mhm.
Not other numbers is 2. That's fact. Opinion is like Teacher Karen Kemp is the best people in the world, but we can't say that the truth.
That's right. That's right. So, but thank you for your opinion. Another example would be to say that blue is a color. That would be a fact. An opinion would be to say blue is the best color in the world, right? So opinions are not right or wrong. Different people can have different opinions, and that does not mean that one of them is right and the other one is wrong. But down here, Athena says, scarecrows can be haunted. She says that like it's a fact. She's not saying that like, in my opinion, I believe or I think that scarecrows can be haunted, you don't have to agree with me if you don't want to. She's saying, she's declaring, remember that word we used, declared. She's declaring like this is a fact. Scarecrows can be haunted. Then her next sentence kind of gives the reason why she believes that is true, why she believes that is a fact. Her next sentence says, I read about it in a book. And so what she is implying is that everything she reads in a book must be true. Now, my question to you is that true? Is that a fact that everything you read in a book is true?
No, because it can be non-fact.
That's
Like a
right.
story, like Jigsaw Jones is not a fact, not a real book.
Right, it's fiction. But you know, there can even be books that sound like facts. There could be a book out there that looks like it's nonfiction, looks like it's everything you want to learn about ghosts. And maybe they want you to think it's nonfiction, and they might make it sound like facts. But that does not mean that it is a fact. And so the reader has to be very careful in what they believe. And some people, some authors are very convincing. They are very persuasive. They make it sound like they are saying facts. And you have to be an extremely good reader sometimes to be able to say, wait a minute, what's your proof? If it really is a fact, then where's the evidence? Has a scientist proven this more than once, 2 times, 3 times, different scientists? What's your evidence? Or is this your opinion that you're just saying like it's a fact? Well, anyway, I think Athena is funny because it tells us something that we, the reader, can figure out about Athena is she believes everything that she reads in a book is true. So the word I would use to describe Athena is the word gullible. Gullible is an adjective. It's a describing word. And it's a word you would describe, that you would use to describe someone who believes anything they're told. So they're very easy to trick them. You could say there's 11 planets, and they would say, oh, really? There is? Wow, there's 11 planets, and they just believe you. So you could say the moon is made of cheese, and they'd say, oh, really? The moon is made of cheese. I learned something at school today. The moon is made of cheese. And they just believe kind of whatever they're told. So Mila hears Athena say this, and Mila says, what kind of book? A fairy tale, right? Mila doesn't believe it. And then Athena says, no, oh, more italics. You can tell one letter that's really easy to tell is the A, because you can see this A here and this A here. These 2 A's do not look the same. So this is in italics. So Athena says, no, a real book with real pictures of real ghosts and UFOs and aliens. This is very interesting. Athena has read a book that has real ghosts. So she believes ghosts are real, and UFOs. So she believes unidentified flying objects are real, and aliens. And so she believes aliens are real. Why? Because she saw all of these things in a book. And so she thinks it must be true. It must be fact. Athena answered, it was called, I don't know, like Freaky Things That Live or something like that. Now, I think it's funny that she found a book titled Freaky Things That Live, and she believes it's nonfiction and everything in it is true. But what I want us to notice here is we have more italics. And this is more than one word. This is a whole group of words. And so one of the things that another reason that an author will use italics is if they are writing the title of a book, then they might use italics. And then Lucy is listening to Athena, and she says, Athena's right. Lucy Hiller agreed. Strange things happen all the time. The world is full of mysteries. No one can explain why. Now we've got two people that agree that it's possible for something to be haunted and that ghosts and UFOs and aliens are real because they're in a book. Yeah, Ralphie Jordan joined in. Check out my socks. Now this is going to be kind of funny. See if you can figure out what's so funny here. Ralphie slid up his pant legs. He wore a striped green sock on one foot and a bright orange sock on the other foot. And then he says, beats me how that happened, Ralphie said, cracking a smile. When he cracks a smile, it tells us that he's about to kind of make a joke, if you can figure out what the joke is. He said, the world is full of mysteries. The funny thing is, he added, I've got another pair just like them at home. So what's so funny about that? Is it really a mystery why he has an orange sock on one foot and a green striped sock on the other foot? No, so why does he have, what's going on? Why is it not a mystery? It says he has another pair like him at home. What does that mean? Let's see. He's wearing one orange sock, and then at home, this will be what he's wearing. And then over here at home, he has another, oops, that's a horrible sock, isn't it? There we go. So this is what he has at home. And then he has a green striped sock. Boy, I'm not really very good at making socks, you know? All right, let me see if I can get a little bit better green color. Okay. And then at home, he has another one, okay? So he's like, gee, I don't know why my socks don't match. Boy, the world sure is full of mysteries. And you know what's even a bigger mystery? I've got another pair at home just like it. Can you believe it? Two pair of socks that look just the same. One orange and green, and the other one is orange and green. How did that happen? What a mystery. Now, what's so funny? You know? It's because this is one pair of socks, and this is the other pair of socks. And he just didn't really care that morning. He didn't care that his socks don't match. He just grabbed one orange one and one green one. And he knew that that left at home another orange one and a green one. But he's kind of making a joke and saying, boy, what a mystery. How did that happen? Remember, a mystery means that we don't have an answer, right? A mystery is when something happens and we have a lot of questions about it, but we don't have answers. So he's like, what a mystery. I don't know why my socks don't match. I don't know why I have another pair at home that looks just like them. They don't match. So he's kind of being funny, because actually that's not a mystery at all. And we know that it's not a mystery because he cracks a smile. That kind of gives it away that he's being kind of silly. Okay. We're going to put our star here, but we've got chapter 8 coming up, and chapter 8 is called Case Closed. Maybe I will read just this one page here. I, Jigsaw, should, this author likes to use italic letters. Okay, it helps us know how Jigsaw is talking. I should have been happy. Kim Lewis had her necklace. Mila and I were paid. The case was closed, right? They were hired to get the necklace back. They got the necklace back. Job is done. Case closed. But it felt like I had a swarm of bees buzzing through my brain. You can see this word like. So we're looking at a simile, right? He does not really have a swarm of bees inside his brain. So this is figurative, not literal. So what would a swarm of bees sound like? Just a lot of noise, a lot of activity, a lot of questions going on in his brain. Questions, questions, questions. This is all in italic letters. Questions, 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 but no answers, right? Well, what does that mean? When we have questions and no answers, that means there's still a mystery. I slid across from Mila in the cafeteria. This case is all wrong, I confided. I told her secretly. Mila looked at me thoughtfully. She tapped a tooth with a long pink fingernail. Click, click, click. We never solved the mystery, she stated. Stated is like declared. So this is a word that means said, like declared. I am making a statement. Mila was right. We never did find out who stole Kim's necklace, or for that matter, why. I mean, why steal it, then return the necklace without getting a ransom? It didn't make any sense. So they still have these questions. Who stole it and why did they steal it? And why did they want Jigsaw to be the one to bring the money to the tree at the Rigby place? So they have a lot of questions that never got answered. That means there is still a mystery. So even though Kim got her necklace back, they feel like the mystery never got solved. And that is where we're going to pick up next time. So next time, we're going to talk about how they answer those questions. So maybe Kim got her necklace back, but Jigsaw and Mila are still on the case. They are detectives, which means they like answers to their questions. They like to figure those things out. They want to know who took the necklace and why did they take it. And so the mystery will continue. The detective work will continue next week. All right. Any last words?
I think Claire will go find the Scarecrow and ask him.
Oh, you do? All right.
But the police will not involve.
Okay, no police involvement, but they will go talk to the Scarecrow. All right. Well, we will find out. For now, we will say so long.
Chatter, chat.
All right. Bye, Archie.
So long.